Let's talk about crank nosebands. Some people seem to be put off bridles because they have a crank noseband compared with a Cavesson. But guess what? You don't actually need to use it like a crank. And people probably shouldn't be using it like a crank. If they're needing to tie their horse's mouth shut for any reason, I'd suggest that they look at the reason why the horse is opening its mouth in the first place. But I digress. I actually prefer a crank noseband over a Cavesson because of the way that it sits, and it sits so much better and it's much more comfortable on the horse. Now these bits here are by definition what is a crank noseband, and you can see, let me just swap hands, that they allow the noseband that is behind the jaw to move up and down. Now on this horse it sort of sits on a bit of an angle, and you can see that it actually comes around and contours to his jaw quite nicely. If it moves up, it still contours to his jaw quite nicely. If it moves down, it still contours to his jaw quite nicely. I'll pop a Cavesson on this bridle and then you'll be able to see the difference. Now I've put an ordinary Cavesson on this bridle. This particular style of noseband is not designed to be used for this bridle, but it doesn't matter for the purposes of this. You can see the way that the noseband sits under there. It doesn't look nearly as comfortable as the crank noseband does, because it doesn't have the D bits here that allow the noseband to sit and contour to the bottom of the jaw. Now if I move that up, it jams him in the jaw, and if I move that down, he's not a fan, if I move that down, it also jams him in the jaw. So don't discount a bridle that you really like just because it has a crank noseband. It might actually be beneficial for your horse, and it might actually sit nicer than something like this that's got a plain Cavesson noseband.